All right, 2005 Cadillac CTS with a 3.6 liter in it. We are trying to hunt down a misfire, but we have got multiple misfire codes. So let's take a look at history and then we'll see what it's currently doing. So it looks like 3524. Let's see what it's currently doing. Okay, clearly it runs like absolute garbage. We just did the oil change, so the oil level is good, in case someone was wondering. Currently, looks like misfire is going off in cylinder number 5. We'll let this thing run for a little bit. Now, it also had 2 cat codes, a P0430 and a P0420. You can clearly hear the little pinging or ticking coming from the catalytic converter, so they got something going on there too. Wondering if we have a leaking injector or something like that. I think the next step is to pull a plug. So I think what we'll do is we'll go after cylinder number 5, since that seems to be the one that's misfiring right now. Also, you will see that I got the battery charger hooked up to it because I got the key on, engine off. We want to make sure this scan tool stays within communication. All right, let's see what service information has for us. So we got a 2005 Cadillac CTS with a 3.6. We want to figure out what the cylinder location is, so we'll type in cylinder number 1. Enter. Components and locations, perfect. That's what we want. Okay, so passenger side is going to be 135. Driver side is going to be 246. So let's go pull that rear plug on the passenger side. All right, so cylinder number 5 is going to be this rear coil right here. It's held down by a 10mm fastener. We're gonna go ahead and take this fastener off, moves this out of our way so we can get that coil out and pull that plug. Let's take a look at this plug. Ew. Oh, he's like, yeah. That is oiled up pretty good. All right, so at this point, we already know what the status of the plug looks like. We're gonna see if we have spark, at least check the coil before we figure out what's going on. All right, so we definitely got some spark going on. This kit definitely comes in handy if you guys haven't used it or tried it yet. It's great for testing spark. Also, you can check your fuel injectors with the various Noid lights that it comes with, as well as some stuff for TBI and, well, whatever the hell all those are. Okay, so in order to save time for the video, speed things up a little bit, instead of doing a side-by-side comparison of all the cylinders, we're just going to go after the one that we have the worst issue with right now, which is cylinder number 5. So I got my Craftsman compression test gauge hooked up. We're going to go ahead and crank it over, but before we do, we have to disconnect a fuel pump relay or something like that, so that way we're not creating spark and having fuel and so forth and so forth. So I'm going to pull a fuse. I don't know if this is the right one to pull, but it seems like a good place to go. Center layout. Lucky for us, they actually put what the stuff is. And I'm going to go after this one right here. This ODD injection / coil, and I figure that pulling that fuse is going to kill our injection and coil voltage. That's what I'm hoping on. So hopefully we can just get a crank and see what the compression is. Let's do it. Oh, there it is. So I got my trusty assistant Tommy is going to go ahead and crank it on over for us. Go ahead. Well, go ahead and kill it. So that ODD injection fuse I pulled didn't do anything for us to prevent it from running, but we didn't even hardly get maybe, what, 5, 10 PSI off of that. That cylinder is dead. This thing's gonna need an engine. All right, so now we're gonna rotate the crank and see if we can't bring this cylinder up to TDC. And then we'll get our leak down tester installed and see where the loss is coming from. All right, so in case you guys are wondering, I am now using the Lang leak down tester in case you've never seen that before. I don't know who's all new to the channel. Anyways, we're getting ready to connect it up now that we're at TDC for cylinder number 5. Let's see where the loss is coming from. I've got this, I'm gonna block this open with a screwdriver. We're gonna be listening here, the throat. We're looking and listening here, the coolant reservoir, and then back on the exhaust pipe. So I got the throat blocked open. We're gonna go ahead and pull this down and start adding some air. Okay, so I don't see any bubbles, nor do I hear any noise coming out of the reservoir. I also don't hear anything out of the filler neck. I do hear a minute amount coming from the throttle body. Let's go check the exhaust. Okay, I hear it in the exhaust quite a bit, and in fact, I can even smell it, because it's been running rich. Remember, we have 2 cat codes. Misfires are strong in multiple cylinders, especially in number 5 though, that's an active one. But I've got 100% loss on the exhaust side. Could be a valve. Okay, one more thing that we can do if we're not too entirely sure that that 100% loss is accurate. Like if you're not sure if you're at TDC, even though I use a screwdriver, we can rotate the crank using that same exact 1/2-inch ratchet and 19mm, and we'll just watch our gauges and see if there's any change. See how I'm rotating now? And now we're on the intake stroke, you can hear it. Still 100%. Now we're closing it. At this point, I can go back and I can check with my screwdriver to see if we're still at TDC, but now it's not coming through the intake, and it's most likely going to be back in the exhaust again. So something's going on with the valve, the lifter, the seat, something in the top end. Okay, tools used for this: long Phillips screwdriver, 3/8 ratchet, spark plug, socket with extension, needle nose pliers, Phillips to open up the throat, 10mm. You're gonna need this to open up the electrical connector for the coil in order to remove it. But if I lift it up for you guys, you'll see this plastic thing right here. And by pulling up on this, or pushing on the bottom part, right there, you can disconnect the electrical connector. A little bit tricky doing that with just one hand, but that's how these coils get disconnected. All right, let's go pass on our information. Oh, Lang tester, Craftsman compression tester, tool aid spark tester. So for shits and giggles, we're gonna do a running compression test now on cylinder number 6, since we did it for 5 already. Just to see what happens. Here is the status of this plug. Tommy, you about ready? Yep. Well, we got some Autolite Platinums in here. That doesn't look too good, does it? All right, let me get all this stuff set to the side here. And when you're ready, sir.
Contact.
Yippers. Fire away. Okay, so we're right at about 100. A little bit of fluctuation of the needle, not sure what that means. Good Tuesday! Are we in April yet?
No. April Fool's is coming.
Yeah.
April Fool's is coming. Like, everything's on sale. Just kidding. April Fool's.
Everything's on sale. Cash
Always.
price.
Ooh, cash deals. I like that.
You know what the motto for this week is?
What's the motto?
COVID-19, not a problem. Jeff's got 2020 and not paying him, big issues.
Oh, no. I thought the motto would have been, you cough, everything is yours on credit.
Twice the price.
Yeah.
50%
I'm gonna
markup.
need a credit card on file soon for that.
Yeah, instead of you break it, you bought it. You touch it, you bought it.
Yeah.
You breathe on it, you bought it.
Look at top priority in the end of the world scenario.
Jerky.
No beef jerky.
Wow. It's going out faster than toilet paper. Surprised there's not a line for the jerky right now at the distributors.
Don't shoot me, man. I forgot to call you Friday.
Hey, Tommy.
That's all right.
They got your urinal thing in here that you can use by your bedside.
Oh yeah.
I just noticed that they got it in stock. Oh, but it all depends, right? What do we got
There's
here?
a new one, dude. Spider grip.
Ooh.
Yeah, the gloves.
Yeah,
I'm checking them out.
Grip for your pleasure.
Now I wonder how these hold up to the mineral spirits though, because the ones that Shane and I had gotten from O'Reilly's, for whatever reason, they bubble up and rip real fast.
No, I mean, in my personal opinion is those are the best gloves on the market.
Oh yeah, the monster ones.
I use those one at home. This is another branded one through the Monster logo, and they're made in Thailand. So I got some of these because everybody that's in a panic, dude, is buying gloves. I just
They
ordered.
kind of have the monster thing on the back of them too, on the box.
They do. I just ordered $386 in gloves only.
I'm grabbing these for the house. I have a little bit left here. Oh, look, better grab them while they're hot, Shane. There's another box right there.
I got a box sitting on the counter.
Oh, all right. I meant for the house. You know.
I don't need them for the house. I got Snap-on at the house. Old box of Snap-ons I bought a million years ago from frickin', I think from,
Don't you know that's just
it
like
was from Mike.
That's just like an old condom. That's not
was
gonna
from
work.
Torres.
That's no good.
Hey, with this 6 foot rule though, you know, between I got to start camping out on the floor, so I might need these slightly ribbed ones. You know what I'm saying? Ah, shit. Oh damn! We're going to hell. We're all going to hell.
There's nothing brand new on the truck. There's just lots of tool storage deals.
Where's the tool storage at? The deals that
no,
we
I just
got.
mean like so stuff like this. Did you
boxes.
see that? You saw last week or 2 weeks ago the promo I built with the free tool cart.
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
So along with that, there's a promo where you buy one of these and you get a free work table.
Oh,
is
like the
cool.
monster cart that I just got.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's a pretty good promo. They have another one with buying a smaller cart, and then they have a 4-piece add-on kit that's got a paper towel holder, a can holder, a glove box, and one other item to
Beer
hold.
can holder, yeah.
Beer
So-
can holder.
Yeah. Not for 22s or 24s, dude. Only for 12 ounces. So.
Yeah.
It's low profile.
That's gonna be a hard sell. Them 3-pack of 24s. That's where it's at. That's where you save the money.
One in each pocket and one in your hand, and you're good.
Well, that's right. That's true. That's true.
The big uglies, dude, are really cool. If you haven't shown anybody those, they're really
The
nice.
kneeling pad.
Yeah,
Which
they're
ones?
really nice kneeling pads.
Oh yeah. I think we briefly looked at them, but I don't think we got it up close.
So the ergo mats are the best on the market. The ergo mats are also really expensive. Shane and everybody here at Ron's were the ones that turned me on to those mats.
I've still got two of them.
Yeah,
These are
they
pretty
last
thick.
I
for
got a Cornwall one and the original one.
yeah. So the ergo mats last for a very long time, but you're paying $63 to $67 retail now, and they're about 6 inches wider than that.
They're about the same depth.
Yeah, about the same depth. But those I liked because they're reasonably priced. They give you a free hand workout. You can use that for whatever you're doing when you're at home alone.
I seen that.
Yeah. And right now they have you buy one of those and you get some free gloves, like synthetic leather gloves. So that can enrichen the fun factor while you're at home alone.
I gotcha.
Yeah, so it can be great.
All right. So on a not so lighter note, we already know about the coronavirus. We joke about it a little bit,
Yes.
of course, but realistically, how's that affected your route?
So on my route, I haven't seen any slowdown. I had one shop that was closed today. I had one shop that was closed yesterday. Neither of them are big producing in sales or collections. I expect, this is just like looking at numbers and calculating summertime, how much it slows down. If I slow down 25 to 30%, it's an expected. and there'll be an enrichment of people coming and wanting to spend money once we get through this.
Yeah.
It happens. My ride along today, she was looking at stuff going, wait, guys are grabbing stuff in their hands and going, well, I owe you too much money. And then they're walking around with it in their hands going, I think I want to buy this. So, I mean, people are naturally, I think, drawn, as long as you have a good tool guide, to wanting to continue to spend money. They want to keep me in business. They want to keep me coming back around. So if I just start planning on it, then I'll be just fine. Work days, I've still been putting in 9.5 to 10 hour days. Last week was one of my best weeks that I've had in the last 12 weeks. 2 weeks prior to that was my best week in the last 6 months.
And how's your overall comfortability though with, like, well, obviously we've known each other for a long time, and I don't feel sick if I did. I mean, I say that, but like, you have people that come on the truck, whether they're feeling well or not. How does that make you feel overall with not being sure?
Like
who's
with
got
me
it?
Personally?
Well, yeah, because we had like one death down in the lower desert at Desert Regional.
Yeah.
We've had 2 cases now, one in 29, one in Yucca. So
So
with you running route, how do you feel? Are you taking extra precautions and so forth?
I'm interacting with probably about 400 people in a week. I'm in 6 different cities throughout the week. So I learned about the first year of having the tool truck, like, be proactive about it. I keep the hand sanitizer over there. It's a 3rd down, and I've had it for 7 or 8 months. I don't use that a lot, but when I walk inside of shops, I like to look and touch stuff and see what guys are doing, so my hands get dirty. So I'm washing my hands on a regular basis. Guys, if they've gotten on the truck before and they were hacking prior to any of this, I'm like, hey, you need to go. I'm not so much worried about getting sick. I usually get sick once a year, and it puts me down for a day or 2. Other customers aren't as lucky as that, so I ask them, be mindful to your coworkers and to other people on the truck. I'm not worried about myself. It's just my wife and I at home and the dog, so we're pretty easy to take care of each other. They've got her working at home now, which is crazy to me, but she's in the medical field, dealing with stuff as a pharmacy tech, and so I'm like, well, it's better. I would rather her not get sick, because that's it's gonna be worse for her than for me.
Right. Any delay in shipping as a result? I know a lot of companies, hey, our phones are real busy right now. We cut our staff in half. Have you had any issues with ordering anything as a result of them cutting their staff in half?
Everything that's local. 2 companies that I order from primarily, both have warehouses in Fresno. 0 issues. I'm getting stuff next day. Okay. I had 7 boxes delivered to me by UPS on Saturday. I had 1 box delivered on Sunday. So locally, no. Out of state, stuff that's shipping from across the country, it's adding about another 2 days right now.
Okay.
So that's not much
outrageous.
worse. No, it's not much worse than when there's a bad weather storm. Okay. So stuff that's shipping out of Florida, if there was hurricane season and tremendous amount of rainfall, then it would prohibit me from getting stuff a couple days early.
Right.
But
well, I guess
overall, I've been very lucky. I mean, I think part of it is precautionary, but part of it too is like, guys know what the routine is. They know not to get on the truck if they're sick. And I don't know, I mean, I think people overall, that we don't give people enough credit for being mindful, and they know what they need to do. So
right. Rock and roll. Well, we're gonna take a quick look around. I'm gonna get ready to go. Jess, thanks for letting us have on the truck. Appreciate
Thank you guys
it.
for coming as always.
We'll see you guys back at the house for beer and bullshit. Oh, lordy, lordy, lord. It is 5 o'clock somewhere. It's time to head back to the house. Get us some beers, 30 action. Find us some cold brews. Maybe even a little mixed toddy for the nighty. I'll see you guys in a little bit. All right, back at the house. Cheers to those of you that have your beers. I hope your work day went well if you work today. Those of you that are out of work, my heart goes out to you. I know what it's like to be without work for an extended period of time, and it can be pretty rough. Okay, so hopefully you guys are able to get back to work here, hopefully within the next couple weeks. And if not, hopefully you're looking at your other options as far as the availability of unemployment, because I know in California they're making it a little bit easier for you to qualify for unemployment, whether your work schedule had dropped down to part-time or your entire place of business has closed down permanently. I know other people that have been affected by this business-wise has been the parts department. O'Reilly's, AutoZone, Napa, they've dropped down to about half staff or minimal staff, and their hours of operation are still the same for now. they might have reduced them towards the evening half, but for the normal workday, that 8 to 5, they try to stay proactive and open. Now, they might have reduced their hours. I didn't get a chance to go by the store and see if they reduced their evening hours or not, but I know they've been affected by it as well. A couple of independent shops around the surrounding area that I live in have had to alter their hours as well. A couple of the tire shops have shut down permanently. I don't know that Walmart is still currently open, but I know that like we have a place that's called Fred's Tire. They've changed their hours, and I think they were even closed for a couple days. I know one of our fellow employees is taking off 2 days a week to reduce his chances of possibly getting it. Us at the shop, how has it affected us? Our hours could possibly change as well, especially with not knowing what's going to come in work-wise or if we're going to have much work to carry us through this pandemic. I can tell you that we are taking necessary precautions. In the morning we come in a little bit early. We're wiping down counters. We're wiping down like the handle to the door for people to come in and out. We have closed off. There's no longer a public restroom, so we do not offer that currently as a result. We try to stay protected ourselves, so if we're taking a road test, I've got my respirator at work, Shane has his, and so forth, so we're wearing respirators while we're test driving other customers' cars, and that's to protect them as well as ourselves, because so far as I know, there's no way for you to tell if you are infected with the virus. You could have symptoms. If you don't have symptoms, that doesn't mean that you're not affected. So as a result, we're taking necessary precautions to make sure that that doesn't get transferred around and around. And of course, there's also social distancing. So a lot of the parks around our surrounding area have been closed down. I think that they also might have curfews or cutoff times for certain things. I know that my wife, she has a potential of having her hours reduced. My cousin, who lives up in Oregon currently, his shop is temporarily closed. I know a couple of other people that live on the East Coast who's also been affected and impacted by this. So hopefully you guys are looking at your other options as far as unemployment or other sources of income. I'm not going to dive into all the different sources. There are other resources out there that you can get aid for, and if you're affected by it or you're infected by it, I would hope that you would go and seek treatment. I know that I just recently was contacted by my VA health clinic, and they wanted to know what my overall feeling was and how I was impacted by the COVID-19, and I should be receiving another phone call here within the next 72 hours just to make sure that everything is status quo or if there's been any changes. So they're very much staying proactive as far as making sure that you're very well taken care of. Guys, I hope you guys found this video to be entertaining, to say the least. I hope you enjoyed today's content. Again, I'm sorry for those of you that are affected by this, that are not working at an essential business, and those essential businesses out there, if yours has closed or changed hours as a result, which has made your paycheck a little bit tighter around the wayside, feel free to. So cheers to those of you that have your beers, and try to enjoy your work week, if nothing more. Read some more with your kids. I know that the schools are putting on an online learning center for that way the kids can still be engaging in math and reading and so forth. So hopefully you guys are able to spend a little bit more time with your kids and kind of get them staying educated until they can get back to school whenever they open the schools. Because I know that our schools are closed down. I'm sure some of your guys' schools have closed down as well. We don't know when they're going to open back up. Could be as late as May. Could be as early as possibly next fall. So for right now, hopefully you guys are enjoying some nice family time at home with the kids. So cheers. See you next time. Deuces.